Welcome.
Thank you, Neil.
Good to have you. Good to have you.
I love the radio station WMMR. That was, as growing up as a kid, that was my station. I was like, I want to do that.
So just, if you're not from the Philadelphia area, if you are, you might have heard of Pierre Robert, a very well-known disc jockey. He passed away the other day at the age of 70, someone that you know very well. And then Harry Donahue was the voice of Temple Athletics for many, many years. Was the morning news anchor for KYW News Radio for many, many years. But last week, in one day, two legendary voices in Philadelphia
Same day.
passed.
Yeah. You know, I knew Harry, but I knew Pierre a lot. We were really good friends, and he's that kind of guy that if you went to a concert with him, say you went to the Wells Fargo Center and see Bon Jovi, and you walked in with him, he would get stopped every 5 steps with somebody coming up to him. Pierre, you made a request when my dog died in the air. Pierre, you sent my mom flowers. Pierre, it was, I kind of equated it to like hanging out with Gandhi in a bread line. The guy was, and he gave everybody the time of day, and all the artists loved him, and even like, you know, he met Barkley a couple times, and Barkley like thought he was the coolest thing ever, and Mike Missinelli loved him, and he wasn't a sports guy at all. He called all the teams our boys in blue, you know, but and it's just, I was with him last week. We saw the Springsteen movie. What's it called?
What is that called? Springsteen movie that came out.
No, it's not. That song is in it though.
Yeah.
"Deliver Me from Nowhere," I think it's anyway. We had the premiere. My radio station, WMGK and WMMR, and Pierre and I went. He got up, you know, talked to the whole movie theater, and he was great shape. Loved the movie. Oh, he didn't like it. He thought it was too depressing. I loved the movie because I love that record, Nebraska. But it's just crazy how that just happens. And we had a big tribute for him yesterday at Rittenhouse Square. That was his park where he liked to hang out. So he'll be missed.
He wasn't a sports guy, but I saw him over the years at sports events. Like,
yes,
he interviewed me at the Phillies parade in 2008.
He loved going to parades.
He did.
He loved parades. And he was at when the Sixers were in the finals in 2001. He came, and you know, Farrah Fawcett was there, and Chris Tucker was there, and Jack Nicholson, and Axl Rose, and he was he's like, hey, can we go backstage and say hi to the players, which is the locker room, but you know, that's what he called it. It was just really neat. He's gonna be missed.
All right, so you're obviously an established, well-known radio personality here in this town. Do more people stop you because of the Sixers when they hear your voice?
Yeah. So Neil, it depends where I am, and if I have, so for Sixer games I wear a hat. So if I have a hat on, I get recognized, which is kind of weird. Like, some people wear hats not to get recognized, and my wife says it all the time. Like, you got your hat on, and we'll go to a bar or a restaurant. It's like, and it's usually like people your age. You know, we have our demo lately is a lot of males, you know, 20 to 35, and then for radio, I'll get recognized because I use my real name. I'm Matt Cord. That's my birth name. So I'll order like a pizza, and what's the name? Matt Cord. Oh yeah, there's a guy on the radio. Yeah, well, that's me. So I get recognized when I say my name, or once in a rare occasion, someone will be like, oh yeah, I recognize your voice from the radio.
Well, you're not doing.
But it's more Sixers.
You're not doing the Tyrese Maxey introduction.
Yeah.
I want them to have a lot of the questions, but let's get the last thing for me for now would be getting into the Sixers job. Like, how did that come about?
All right, so I worked at MMR, and there was a guy that worked at the Wells Fargo Center back then. It was Core States. His name was Ike Richmond, and there was a lacrosse team in town. They still are. They're called the Philadelphia Wings Box Lacrosse. So this is probably 95. And Ike's like, hey, the Wings are looking for a PA announcer. And I said, he's like, I think you should do it. I said, I know nothing about lacrosse. He's like, don't worry about it. You'll be great. And I didn't know anything about it. I learned. And the Wings are a good team. They were really good when I took over. They won 3 titles, and they had the Gate brothers and Tommy Marichek and Jake Berge, and it just was a phenomenal team. So while I was doing the Wings games, the same time I knew Pat Croce because he would come on and he would give a fitness tip on Pierre Robert's show every day at 11 o'clock. So one day he came in, he's like, my man, I got a team together. We're buying the Sixers. I want to make you the announcer. I love how you yell at the other players when you do Wings games. I like that attitude. You're like, when they score a goal, you're like, Buffalo goal. You know, I want to hire you. And that's how I got hired for the Sixers, because of Pat.
That's right place, right time, right voice,
Yeah.
right time, right.
Well, you know what? you know, I had to audition. So they were looking for a new announcer, and it was 1996. We just drafted Iverson. Over 200 people auditioned, and it was like all kinds of people. Like, remember Arson Arnie from WIP?
Of course.
Like the listeners, he's banging on the table doing it. So I came in second. This guy came in first. His name was Gary Young, great guy. He was also a radio DJ. He worked at Power 99. He got let go from his job at Power 99, so he needed to get another radio job, and he got one in Detroit. So technically I was his backup. So as soon as he only lasted 1 year, and then I moved right in.
I don't even remember him.
Yeah, a lot of people don't. Yeah, he only did one. He did a year and a half.
1 year.
Yeah.
Didn't Tom LeMaine do a year?
Tom, so when the Sixers got sold to Josh Harris and David Blitzer, our new CEO was Adam Aaron. And Adam came in, he wanted to make a lot of changes. So he got rid of the mascot hip hop, he brought in Franklin, and then he wanted to get rid of me. He's like, you know what, I was going to get rid of you, but I'm going to bring in another guy to do the announcing. I'm going to make you in charge of the website. And I said, I don't know anything about websites. He's like, don't worry about it. So it lasted for 1 year, and then they brought me back
Wow.
after Tom did it for 1 year.
Anyone want to be a PA announcer as a job? Wow, look
That's a
at
lot.
that.
Good for you,
Look
man.
at that. All right, Keegan, what you want to go with the first question?
Sure. Do you get annoyed when people ask you to announce players on the street?
No, not really. No. And it's kind of neat, you know, especially like when they're old school players, you know, like Jermaine Jones or, you know, obviously Iverson, but not at all.
So, do you do Cameo? Do you do
I am
that?
on Cameo, yes.
So,
The big thing with my Cameo is I get a lot of announce the fantasy football drafts. You pick the order, and then, you know, some of the names are like borderline like R-rated, like, okay, I can't say that guy's name, but I do a lot of fantasy football, a lot of weddings, bar mitzvahs, and birthdays. Yeah.
All right, questions. Go ahead, right here.
Yeah, I know for PA there's a lot of prep to it. What's like a day in your life with public address? Like how do you prepare? And you know, the game's at least 2.5 hours, so how do you stay like your voice to keep it?
That's a good question. So game days, you know, completely. I have a ritual. I kind of pretend like I'm a player. You know, get up, I go do my radio show, eat, take a nap, and then I get there 3 hours before tip-off just to run over all. There's probably maybe 35 to 40 different announcements during the game, and they change from time to time. So I just like to read them over, and then I'll go to the visiting team 2 hours before, and go to the PR person and ask, you know, how to say their names, players' names. Sometimes I'll go up to the players when they're warming up before the doors open. Great story. Giannis Antetokounmpo was his rookie year. He was warming up, and I looked at that name. I'm like, oh my god! And I went right up to him. I said, "Excuse me, I'm the PA announcer. How do you pronounce Antetokounmpo?" He's like, "Listen to me, Giannis Antetokounmpo." And I'm like, "Giannis Antetokounmpo? No. Antetokounmpo. No. And then by the fourth time, he just looked at me and said, "You know what? No one will know you got it wrong but me." And he was right. So, yeah, to me, I'm fanatical about prep and stuff like that. Early, overreads. I even like, we'll have 3 officials every night. I'll go into their bios and like pick something out. Like last game, we had a guy named JT Orr, and his favorite band is Pearl Jam. And like I got to see him. You know, they all come over right before the game. I'm like, you like Pearl Jam? And like just stuff like that. Michael Smith was an official. He's been in the league for almost 30 years. You're 30 years, Michael, that's great. You know, stuff like that really helps your relationships with officials and stuff. So yeah, the more the merrier.
It's not like you're saying to the audience as a public address announcer,
Yeah.
"Oh, and the referee loves Pearl Jam." Right? You're not saying that, right?
No, because yeah, fans.
That call from that 30-year official sucked.
Right. He loves to fish. That's probably why he blew that call. He's thinking about a striped bass. No.
All right, Alan, go ahead.
Alan, I met you before.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great to see you again.
You too.
When you prepare for preseason games, I know Philadelphia has had quite a few international teams come in, like Guangzhou, New Zealand
Yes.
came in last year. I think it was Melbourne United came in 1 year. What is it like? Is your preparation different in terms of, especially for the teams from like China and Europe, does it get different because you have to figure out how to pronounce the names? So like, how do you
Yeah.
prepare for those?
Great question. So the team from China, what was their name?
The Guangzhou Long
See,
Lions.
I screwed that up. They were in town for a week. They were practicing at Temple. So I called the people at Temple and I said, can I go watch them practice? And I talked to the coaches and they went over a bunch of the names with me. They had a lot of American guys on the team,
Yeah.
so that kind of helped. But yeah, that was tough. And the Australian team, there was a lot of these teams over in Europe and over anywhere had American players on their team. So, but yeah, that China game was a tough one.
Okay, right here. Go ahead.
Going off of your game prep, what do you do every day to keep your voice in good shape, to keep your voice healthy?
Keep your voice in good shape.
All right. I do vocal exercises. Years ago I went to a vocal coach. He's like a singing coach, and so I'll do like the scales, like So I do that maybe about actually when I'm driving in. I got like a half-hour drive to the arena, and then I set up everything in the arena, and then about an hour before I go into the visiting team hockey shower, which has got great echo, and I'll just Tyrese Maxey, VJ, and I just go over and over until I think it's right. It's funny because sometimes the players come in that use the bathroom and I'm like saying names and they kind of get a kick out of it. So yeah, I totally get the vocals warmed up, and because I used to lose my voice when I first started, I didn't know you had to warm up your vocals. It's a muscle, and so I've never lost it since I've had that coach.
Very good. Right here. Go ahead, Anthony.
So you've been in the industry for a long time. How have you seen it change since you first started? And, like, how is it like developed and progressed?
So radio or
Radio.
so radio's completely different when I started. I like it's obviously kids today don't really listen to the radio. When Neil and I grew up, that's what you got your music from. You didn't have any other options but to listen to the FM or the AM. So when I started in radio, there was every station had an overnight DJ. Every station had a nighttime DJ. These days, no one has an overnight. No one has a nighttime DJ. Even where I work now at MGK, I started 5 years ago. There was 14 full-time people. Now there's just 2. I'm the only live DJ on MGK. The other 2 shows are voice tracked. So it's a melting ice cube. That's what I call it. I kind of discourage people from trying to get into radio these days because I don't know what it's going to be like. What do you think it's going to be like?
Well, I mean that's not sports. That's
Right.
music.
Oh, I think sports talk radio will be solid for years to come, and I think morning shows. That's what I do now. I think morning shows. There's a lot of people that love that morning show, traffic temp, but it's completely different than it was when I got in 35 years ago.
Okay, very good. Right here. Go ahead. Yeah.
So, would you or have you ever experienced any kind of fatigue from doing radio or PA announcing? And if you have, how do you combat it or go against it?
Yeah, because you're up in the morning,
I get up at
and then you have a
4:30.
game at night.
Yeah.
You get up what time?
4:30.
You get up at 4:30.
Yeah. Naps. Every day. Yeah. And then night games, I try. It's funny. Night games now, I leave as soon as I say the final score, and I go out to the left, which is a visiting team bench. They go through that tunnel. And a lot of times I get out so soon, I'm in the line of the visiting team play. Like I'm behind Steph Curry and other guys like trying to get out like through their tunnels so I can get to my car and get home.
And how quickly from when you leave to when you're home and in bed can you do it?
Without traffic, 30 minutes.
30 minutes. So
yeah.
you're in bed in 30 minutes after you say, and the Sixers win tonight. Boom, you're in bed 30 minutes
Well,
later.
I'm not in bed. I'm kind of like, I need
Wired?
I need like a good hour or half hour at least after I get home.
Okay, so the games end around 9:30.
Yeah. I
You're
get
home 10:15.
Yeah, I'm in bed by 11.
Bed by 11, up
by
at 4:30.
Yeah.
Nap what time?
1 or 2.
1 or 2.
Yeah. The tough ones, the ones that I will have back-to-backs, we don't have a lot of them. I think we have like 6 this year. Those are the tough ones, when you got 2 in a row. Or if a game, like, when we're in the playoffs, games start at 8:30. You're not getting out of there until 11, 11:30, home by 12. But
The
It's the playoffs. It's the playoffs.
The sacrifices you have to make, Matt.
it's not many. I have a pretty easy life.
All right, in the back, Connor.
What was your inspiration getting into radio?
Well, a lot was we just talked about Pierre Robert because I kind of grew up listening to him. There's a guy named John DeBella, Earl Bailey, and then Tom LeMaine, the old school guys, Jerry Blavitt, like the AM radio guys, George Michael, Dr. Don Rose. So I was a big radio freak at those days, just listening to different, DJs. So I always wanted to do that.
If radio doesn't work out, or some, the way it's heading in music-wise, now the mornings are still I think
Yes.
are still different. But have you thought about what you might add, or will you just say that's good? I had a great career.
Yeah, I think podcast, get something going.
Do you do a podcast?
I
now?
don't. John Brazier. Does anyone know John Brazier?
He was Pizza with the Pros guest.
Yeah. Okay. So he does one with the Philly Fanatic, Tom Burgoyne, and we've talked about soon that we're going to get one going too.
You and Brazier.
Yeah, me and John.
Because he loves music.
He loves music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll be a
And-
music-centric podcast.
Yes, and he's a great storyteller, and
I like that.
Yeah.
That will work.
Yeah.
That'll be good.
Yeah.
Right here, Andres.
So like, what are the different type of tasks that you do that like some of us fans wouldn't expect to like see, or like the behind the scenes tasks that you do?
So for basketball behind it, well, I set up everything myself. Like I go into the office, I grab this box, and it's got like the TV monitor, it's got my headset, it's got all the different like plugs and the cards and my mini pad, which has all the announcements on it. Like, so, I think some people probably wouldn't think I would do that. It would be all set up for me.
So when Alan and we came to a game, and Alan met you at a game.
Yeah.
You meet people before the game.
Yeah.
What kind of interaction do you have with, whether it's fans or players or executives? How does that, for someone that's been around the league as long as you have, your relationships are pretty wide.
I like to get set up first, and get everything ready, and then I'll get up and like talk to you guys. Or we have a lot of the same season ticket holders that have been there forever. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the sixth man, Al Horowitz. I say hi to him. There's a big time lawyer named Tom Klein, sits on the other side. M. Night Shyamalan is there courtside a lot, and then Freeway, the rapper. Just this certain Michael Rubin. I always try to say hi to him so I can say I shook the hand of a billionaire. I got that line from Barkley. They were making fun of him once on TNT, and like Shaq's like, you suck it up to Mark Cuban. He's like, I just wanted to tell everyone I shook the hand of a billionaire.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
So yeah, I try to talk to a lot of people.
All right, right here.
As someone who wants to get into PA, what's like the best part and like what's like the hardest part?
The best part for me is starting the intros. That's just like you're the lead singer in the rock and roll band. Lights go down, the montage, the videos, the countdown, 3, 2, 1, go, pyro. 5 guys, you make them like they're the biggest person in the world. The hardest part, I would think, is people asking you for tickets. Like people think I get free tickets, or that part's hard. And then there's a part where people come to games and they know you and they want a better experience where they already are. Hey, I'm in the second level. Can you help me? Can you get me a little closer? So it's that part. People asking for freebies.
Isn't there a spot next to you available?
There is. Derek's not always sitting there because he's running around, but doing intros is the best part, without a doubt.
Favorite player is, you said, is it, well, of all time, favorite player, can you do it for us?
Well, you guys won't know that it's Jermaine Jones.
Go ahead, do it, Jermaine Jones.
It's 6'8" from Georgia, number 3. It's number 33. Jermaine Jones.
He wasn't a very good player.
He started in the finals in 2001.
He wasn't a great player.
He was not a great player. He comes to all our games now.
Does he?
Yeah, I still see him a lot. I mean, Iverson is obviously the number one.
Let me hear an Iverson. Come on. We gotta go
Killing me here.
Yeah, come on.
And finally, a 6-foot guard from Georgetown, number 3, Allen Iverson.
Yeah, let's give him a round of applause. And you didn't do your vocal,
No, I
prep
didn't.
before
I
this.
know.
You
Thank God. That's in. Has anyone seen the documentary, the 3-part on Prime yet, about Allen Iverson?
It just got dropped.
Just got
I wanna
dropped.
see
It's
it.
produced by Shaq and Steph, and they use that intro in the very beginning, in the part 1.
You get residuals?
I got
or-
nothing.
You got nothing?
What the?
Wow.
I think, yeah. Once you work for a team, they can use your voice in anything they want, right? Is it?
Yeah, I guess
But it's
so.
neat to hear it.
Yeah, all right, right here.
Besides the one player you mentioned, what are like your top 5 like basketball players you like to announce, not just from the Phillies but from other teams?
Oh, okay. Antetokounmpo. Who else? I love Steph Curry. Super nice guy. But see, I don't announce with excitement the opposing team, so I don't know. I'm trying to think.
Have you always done this really mundane?
Yes, that came
from
up-
day one.
That came over from the Wings, and Pat Croce loved it. And there was a time where the writers hated it because they couldn't hear me. Phil Jasler would always say you don't say their name. I need to know who scores, Matt. Stephen A. Smith. When I first started, Stephen A. sat right there. Phil Jasler sat right there. Mark Zumoff and Steve Mix sat right over there. Now they got moved because those seats are all worth about $100,000. So I got that from the Wings, and then Croce, the league said, listen, if he doesn't pick it up for visiting teams, we're going to fine you. And Pat looked at me, he's like, F it, keep doing it, I'll pay the fine.
Did he get fined?
I don't know. Nothing else. That was year 2. Nothing else.
And you've never heard anything from the league
Never
since?
since. Never since.
Really?
Yeah.
But other teams do it.
Everyone does it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like to.
Right here, we'll go Ian first.
So obviously, being a PA announcer compared to a broadcaster, you speak a lot less. How are you able to both maximize your creativity in PA announcing while also kind of maintaining professionalism?
So what do you mean, like radio opposed to PA?
PA opposed to play-by-play broadcasting.
Oh, I'm not quite sure what you mean. So
you kind of own, you're not talking the entire
No,
time.
yeah.
How are you able to maximize?
I'm real straight. There's certain PA guys that'll say oh, that's nice dime by VJ. I'm strictly like the assist by and the name. I kind of try to keep it very professional in that sense. I think that's your question. Yeah.
Some cities the PA announcer is like an antagonist, right? He's
Yes.
What's your feelings about that?
I mean, good for them. The guy in Detroit's made a really Mason is they love him. He's like the Detroit basketball. So there was a time when we were playing Detroit and Rasheed Wallace was on Detroit, and every time it was our basketball, I said Sixer basketball, and he came up to the table. He's like, "Yo, cut it out." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "That's our guy. You're using our guy's stuff." I'm like, "I don't know what you're talking about." And he was like yelling at me, like it was. My dad was watching on TV. He's like, "Well, what was that guy saying to you?" He was like pointing his finger at you. I say, I really got him mad because I was ripping off their PA announcer saying Sixer basketball, and I still do it now every time Detroit comes in just for the hockey.
No one else has ever said anything to you but Rasheed Wallace.
Yeah, he was mad.
He was mad.
And he was at our game Friday night, and I saw him in the back, and he's like, "Yeah, I know. I was just joking," because I guess he still lives here. He went to Simon Gratz,
Yeah,
so he's a
Philly guy.
local guy. Yeah,
Philly guy. All
although
right.
he's a Chiefs fan.
Right here. Yeah.
Any evolutions to your job in terms of how you deliver the announcement throughout the years?
Yeah, I mean, when I first did Iverson, it was nothing. I never said "and finally," and it was just like Allen Iverson. They've all, even like the guys we have now, like VJ Edgecombe. Every game I'm trying something different until it feels right. Same with Embiid. When we first got Embiid, so we were talking, and I said, Joel Embiid, we should get something in the middle there, Joel. He's like, yeah, use my middle name, Hans. I'm like, all right, we'll go Joel Hans Embiid. And then right before his first game, because he missed the first 2 years, I saw him in the locker room. I'm like, you ready for Hans? He's like, no. I changed it. I want you to say the process. I legally changed my name to the process. So I was like, Hans I could probably get away with, but the process, I wasn't sure. And he scored right away, and I just said Joel Embiid. He comes running back to the court like. I didn't say it all that game, and then I went to our CEO, Scott, and he's like, yeah, you know what, you can say it. And then it's stuck. Now people don't want me to say it. They drop the process.
Does the league ever come down on you, or do you hear from the league through the Sixers about something that you can't say about a player nickname or something like that?
No, not really.
Never happened.
Never happened. There's a time we had a coach named Larry Brown, and he didn't like me to say nicknames. He didn't like me to call Derek Coleman DC. He didn't like me to call Tom McCulloch Big Mac. He'd always send Karen Friscona over. Coach says no more DC. I'm like, really? No more Big Mac. And the funny thing is, his kid was named LJ. So it's like,
Let's go right here.
How do you manage to keep up the high energy if the Sixers are losing?
that's a great question. It was tough back in 2015. I think we went 0-16. Our first win was against Kobe Bryant, his last game in Philadelphia. You know, I always say, and people were that year were like, "Boy, your job's hard." I'm like, there's only 29 other people in the world that have that job, so you got to look at it that way. Like, I'm pretty blessed, even though we're not that good. You know, you try to make it like it's the biggest basket ever. And a lot of the guys that were scoring for us last year towards the end, I didn't know any of them. You know, they would come in, and then I'd wait until they took off their warm-ups to figure out what their last name was. But for those guys to hear, you know, you want to say their name great too, because you know they're not going to play much ever again. You know, so it's kind of neat.
And when you mispronounce a name, you have to feel awful. Right?
Yes.
How often does that happen?
It'll happen, but I try not to. Their PR director will usually come up to you and say, here's a good one was Stephen Curry. He was first or second year, I was saying Stefan. And he came up to me, he goes, "Hey," I'm like, "What?" He goes, "It's Stefan." I'm like, "What am I saying?" "Stefan." He goes, "It's cool." I'm like, okay, you know, but yeah, the league would say, if you're doing it that bad, both teams have PR people. My PR guy will come up to me sometimes, because I'll say Joel's 7'2". He's like, he's 7 foot. And I always have this argument, but when I do NBA 2K, he's 7'2". So PR people are usually there to correct you right away.
Wait a minute. So let's talk about the 2K.
Yeah.
What was that? Take us through that process.
So that was just this company out in California, NBA 2K, and they decided to get a lot of the PA announcers to record. I have the game. You guys play it? Okay.
I used to.
So it's, if you'd like to get Matt Cord as the PA announcer for the Sixers, there's a way you can do it. And I've announced every name and all of our players. But there's also now a way where you can get me to be the PA announcer for the Lakers. So I had to go in and, you know, LeBron James, Luka Doncic. I'm like, this is killing me. You know, and you have to do them like mid-tempo, up-tempo, slow tempo. And then we do, you know, we did a whole alumni. You can play the Sixers alumni, Tom McCulloch, Jermaine Jones, George Lynch, Juan Pepe Sanchez. So it was a great idea by them. And then every year they send me out there to California in June for like a week of recording.
A week?
Yeah.
How do you keep your voice?
Yeah, it's weird because you're out there for a week and you're in California. It's like you can't do anything. You record all day and you just go home and sleep and then go back the next day. They tell you like you're not out of here for a vacation. Yeah. And last year was all WNBA players for the game. So yeah, but it was fun.
Wow. Okay, Keith.
So naturally, you know, you're announcing guys and things happening in the game a lot. Do you remember a really bad voice crack or something where your voice just did not, you know, go the way you wanted it to go?
Yeah, or like sneezing or.
Yeah, any specific times that you remember?
Yeah, not really.
Yeah, mentally push those out, I guess.
Yeah, you try. It's funny though, when you do make a mistake nowadays, Twitter just blows up. It's like Matt Cord just said this. So we have an old mascot is hip hop. So our mascot now is Franklin. About 3 years ago, I don't know what I was thinking, and Franklin comes out and during timeouts and does the behind back shot at half court. Like, give it up for Franklin, behind the back shot. And one day I just said, give it up for hip hop, and I'm like, oh boy. I'm not even gonna look at Twitter. And Derek, who runs our live events, he's like, you just said hip hop. I said, I did. He's like, he hasn't been here for 12 years. So, but anyway, hip hop's coming back Saturday, so I'm excited to tell him that story.
Oh, now it's going to mess you up.
Well, they're both going to be there. We have both mascots are going to be there. Yes.
So what is it like when the season is very high energy? I don't follow basketball. I know the Sixers doing very well right now. So what is that like for you? Like when everyone's doing great, like I know you were asked about when the season's not going so well.
Yeah, it's great. I get a lot more cameo requests. It's good for the brand. And the whole city. I mean, this is such a sports city. Everybody like wants they want the sports teams to do well. You know, I mean, obviously it's an Eagles town, it's a Phillies town, but they they want. I always say this when we're at a game, and it's sold out and we're not playing well, and then we start playing well. They just want us to do so well. They'll go crazy. Like give it to them. You know this. It's one of the most passionate sports towns in the world, not just in the country. People are fanatical. So when we're doing well, everything's great. And things get less nitpicky too.
Dan Baker's a 1968 Glassboro State graduate.
Oh, okay.
So Dan has been here. Dan actually has a scholarship here in our program as well. What about Dan Baker's style and Matt Cord's style?
Yeah, Dan and I are completely different, and it's two different. So baseball, you don't talk as much as a PA first. Like baseball, it's like, now batting, second base, number 26, Chase. He's all like Chase Utley. He's real into. But then Chase is at the plate for 5 minutes, and you're not saying a word. So it's completely different. I'd love to do it, and Dan's been doing it for 52 years. Mm-hmm. And same with Lou Nolan, the Flyers. He's been doing it for I think 52 as well. But Dan is very by the book, and boy, he pronounces everything perfectly.
And when you do the anthem.
Yeah.
The United States
yes.
of America.
Yeah. Right? Yes. And then everybody who imitates Dan does the Joe Conklin. These changes for the Phillies. But yeah, and Dan wears a suit and tie, and I'm usually dressed like this with a baseball hat on, and but I love Dan. But I got to ring the bell for my 25th anniversary of the Sixers, and so everyone's like, "Who's going to announce you?" Because I announced, the bell's a symbol of the city's unity. Ringing tonight's bell. Like last game we had to Deshaun Jackson. So I reached out to Dan and Lou Nolan, and they both announced me ringing the bell.
Oh, that's pretty
cool. It was so cool. They were center court.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That was a nice touch.
I was really honored.
And that was your idea?
That was my idea.
What is it like to ring the bell?
It's pretty cool because, first of all, you got to hit it hard. There's so many people that don't hit it hard, and there's people that hit it and the mallet goes flying. Anthony Gargano went to hit it once, and the mallet went all the way over to the Sixer bench. Ryan Howard, one of the best home run, hit it like this. But then you get Triple H came in one game because Joel's a big Triple H. That and he hit it with a sledgehammer. Yeah. Pat Croce hit it, tried to break it. Vince Papale tried to break it. So it's neat, and I always try to give them advice like, dude, crush the bell, and hit it with two hands, But it's pretty cool. Yeah, and the amount of people that bring, it's a big thing. Like every game, who's ringing the bell? Who's ringing the bell? And sometimes I don't even know. They won't tell me if it's a big person. They won't tell me until 4 minutes before it happens.
Yeah, playoff games is always a big. Who's going to ring the bell? Because it sets the tone for the fans.
Yeah, Don Staley, and the year the Eagles won the Super Bowl in '18, and it was maybe a month afterwards, and I introduced Doug. And he came out with the Lombardi Trophy.
Nice.
Stuff like that. Or when we first traded for Bryce Harper, and they just got back from spring training, and I'm like, ringing tonight's bell from your first place Philadelphia Phillies, and then you pause. Number 3! And the place goes crazy. Governor Shapiro was great to ring. Mayor Sherrell Parker. Yeah, it's neat, and everybody wants to ring the bell. I get a lot of people that are musicians in town. Can I ring the bell? I'm like, I don't really have a lot of say in that, but I'll put your name in that. This guy should ring the bell.
I have not rang the bell.
Right.
But I don't.
Somebody's been in
I don't need to ring the bell. I'm all right.
No, but you deserve to ring the bell. Thank you. Charles Barkley has never rung the bell.
Charles never rung the
bell. No, he should ring the bell. He should. Jimmy Lynam. I mean, there's a list. It's like who's not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Jimmy Lynam.
Jimmy Lynam never rung the bell.
Legend. All right, go ahead, Ben.
So you got to remember so many names. What strategies do you use to remember all these names, on the Sixers and the opposing teams?
I have the NBA ticket, so I watch a lot of games. I'll go home tonight and Charlotte, Washington. I'm a fan of the NBA, so it's kind of the more I saturate with NBA stuff, and I listen to NBA on Sirius XM, and my favorite morning show is the starting lineups from Brian Scalabrine and Frank Isola. So I'm pretty much up on it. That helps.
I mean, you have the best seat in the house.
True.
Literally the best seat in the house.
Best seat in the house, yes.
For 28 years.
Yes, yeah.
They're not moving you
And-
upstairs. They're
no.
keeping you right there.
Yeah, they always
50
say
yard
I'll
line.
be the last one because
Yeah, yeah.
eventually they're gonna like need the money or say they need the money.
I mean,
But, yeah.
stat guy's got to be there.
Here's a great story. So I get to see a lot of players check in. You all know Dwayne Wade, right?
Yeah.
So he's checking in, maybe right in his last year, and the guy behind me is just, and they can hear him. It's like, Dwayne, you're nothing without LeBron. Dwayne, your wife's a fake movie star. Like just, and he's like, and then he goes, Dwayne, you're balding. And he goes, I am. He was like, yeah, just a little bit, right up top here. And Dwayne goes, I am where? He's like, you're right, okay. Like, just getting on him for everything. So stuff like that is like really funny.
Do they interact with you often?
Yes, yes. Paul Pierce, when he played, would always come up and tell me, like, now when I score, I want you to say the truth. You know, like, I'm not going to say that, Paul. Then one time, I think he's probably 15th all time on the NBA score. So he's passing Alex English. He goes, listen, I need 36 points tonight. He gets me right before the game. And when I pass him, you got to announce it. I'm number 15th on. And then he's checking into the fourth quarter, and he has like 8 points. And I know Paul, like that. I'm like, he's like, hey, I'm like, I guess we're okay with that announcement, huh? He's like, really?
That's pretty good. That's pretty
Yeah.
good. Let me go right here. Shane, go ahead.
How did you find your voice in regards to the PA? How did you find your voice?
How do I find
How
it?
did you find your voice? Like you're Tyrese Maxey. How did you find that voice?
I don't know. I mean, I think I have an okay speaking voice for radio, and then, you know, my first, like I said, the first gig with the Wings. I'm not I'm more afraid of talking in a room like this than I am talking on a microphone in front of 20,000 people. It's weird. Like I'm no problem with that,
But you do. I mean, well, first of all, you have a great radio voice that carries over to your PA work, right?
yeah.
And then the energy you bring.
Right. It's a different voice.
Yeah.
Radio and PA. But yeah, I guess I'm blessed in a way that way too. You know, there's certain people that shouldn't do it.
Yep. Okay. Right here. Go ahead, Andres.
So, what's been like your favorite moment that you called like your favorite, like if it was a game winner, a big?
Yeah, Kobe's last game, his introduction. We get because before when Kobe would come in with the Lakers, it was just like, you know, 6'6" guard below him in high school. And then his last game, it was like, you know, all-star. And 1996, he won the title, Lord, you know, Kobe Bryant. So that was neat. I actually got to do Michael Jordan's last game ever, which was kind of cool. Doing the all-star game in 2002. Trying to think there's another one. Iverson's first game back when he went to Denver was pretty neat because everybody was, this is his first time back, and how you can introduce him, and this and that, and you know, there's probably other ones I just can't think. But Kobe and Jordan are like definitely 1 and 2.
When you rattled off Kobe's successes,
Yeah.
were you told to say that?
Oh
or
yeah,
did
we had a
you-
script. I saved that script. It's in my book at home. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they put a whole script of what they wanted you to say.
Yeah, because
You're not ad-libbing and putting things in.
No, because he announced the night before that he was retiring from the NBA because he wanted to make sure that they only come in once a year, West team. He wanted to make sure that Philly knew this is the last time they were going to see him.
Wow.
And I got to see him. We have a longtime equipment manager, Scotty Rigo. Scotty and Kobe are really close. Scott used to let Kobe in when he was a kid to play practice. And they were talking, and I said, hey, he goes, hey, thanks for that long intro. I said, yeah, it wasn't me. I just started laughing because he knew, like, he would get booed. He got booed during the All-Star game in 2002.
Drosmos?
I want to ask about like the difference between. I'm sure it's drastic, but the difference between announcing names, calling out plays like 3-ball, and like the playoffs, like compared to the regular season and the playoffs. Like, how much like energy are you like? Do you add more energy if it's the playoffs, or what?
Yeah,
else do you, like,
playoffs you do because there's so many more people there. It's so much. It's louder. Like I'm constantly texting my audio guy upstairs, like, give me more volume, more volume, more volume, because you can't hear yourself think sometimes, you know. Especially like if it's a playoff game and there's a call on the floor and the refs say something, I'm like, I can't hear you. Like, come here. Like, it's just insanity. So, yeah, for playoffs it's really hard.
Yeah,
but in a good way.
You're informing the audience, the crowd that's there. If there's, the after referees, they do now go to the mic.
They go to the
but
mic.
There's times when you have to say something that,
Yes.
right, that you've heard discussion with the
And
referees.
sometimes the mic doesn't work, and then they got to tell you what they meant to say, and then we try to read their lips a lot. Derek, the guy sitting next to me, can read lips like unbelievable. He's like, it's overturned. I'm like, how'd you see that? I just heard him say it. And the more, to me, if I know it's overturned before they even say it, it's helping me out because I'm one step ahead.
Okay.
You know.
Sam in the back.
Favorite part of doing the morning show?
Morning show. I guess, I mean, I love rock and roll. So, like tomorrow, I'm giving away tickets for AC/DC. They're coming to the Link in September. Their first outdoor show ever in Philadelphia. I love that band. So, you know, I'll get up tomorrow morning and figures like some trivia questions on how to give away. So the giveaways are really neat. I have a traffic lady, girl, Cindy Graham, and we throw a lot of topics back and forth. She knows nothing about sports. So, you know, we always talk about sports and see her take on things. And she just watched the Iverson documentary and she's like, thought it was really neat that how he got his name Bubba Chuck. Did you guys know that? He had an uncle named Bubba and an uncle named Chuck, and they were both fighting over a nickname, so Bubba Chuck. So yeah, that kind of stuff in the morning.
That's pretty good. That's pretty cool. Kate?
So you've announced some like legendary Sixers teams, but I want to know, with the entire NBA, is there a starting five you wish you could have announced or competed for?
Well, maybe like the Bulls team with Jordan and Pippen. You know, I can't say Lakers. I dislike that team so much. You know, sorry.
But
So
you
Lakers-
probably wish you could have done like Doc.
Yeah, and I get to do Doc. Doc comes in a lot, and I do Doc from the University of. I do him as Zinkoff. So Dave Zinkoff was the PA announcer for the Sixers from 1965 to 1985, and he was legendary. Probably the best PA guy in any sport ever. His microphone hangs from the rafters. There's a road called Zinkoff Boulevard that's still there, and he had this whole, what would you say? It was almost like a New York wise guy.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you know, he would read like this is when they would like people would have their lights on. You know, your lights are on. The car is running. Get to it. And like, and so when Doc comes in, I introduce him like Zink would. You know, and Zink always would say, from the University of Massachusetts, captain on the Philadelphia 76ers, number 6, Julius, the Doctor Irving. And yeah, so doing Doc. And there was a time where we brought that whole team back. I forget what anniversary it was. And I got to do Doc. I got to do Moses. Got to do Mo. Tony was the only one that didn't come in that night.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Let's go right here first.
What was your favorite game ever that you announced?
Favorite game ever?
Ever. Well, I think, so 2001 we went to the finals. We had 2 Game 7s. So Toronto was a Game 7, and that's the one where Vince Carter missed that shot in the corner. But the Game 7 against Milwaukee, even though I think we won that by like 10 or 15 points, that was really neat because we were going to the finals. And a funny story of that is I'm going to name drop here, but I'm friends with, you guys, any Beastie Boys fans? All right, so I'm friends with Adam Horowitz, yeah. And he's a big basketball guy. So I got him to that game. And he was sitting with a couple of friends. And I said, listen, if we win, I'll bring you in the back, because he wanted to meet Iverson, you know. I said, I could probably get you in the back. So we win, I'm thinking, yeah. And then our GM, Billy King, goes, hey, Matt, no one's in the back. Like, he can stand outside and maybe, you know. So we're waiting, and all of a sudden, Little Bow Wow comes out of the locker room. And Little Bow Wow was tight with Alan. And Adam looks at me and goes, so Little Bow Wow gets to go in, huh? Tell Little Bow Wow, ask him how many records he's sold.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, so you can get people tickets. Oh, okay.
That was when Pat was in charge. Pat Croce gave every employee 2 tickets for every game. And it was great. And then, yeah, they'll get them out.
They'll get it out.
No.
All right. Quinn, yep.
As a fan of the sport itself, are there any games where you find yourself like so focused on the game that you sometimes like
Make a mistake?
give up? Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes there's calls that go against us, and I gotta hold myself back from like, you know, like, because A, it doesn't look good. The ref can see it, and B, you're on TV. You know, so yeah, some games you get really, you just gotta like try to keep it right down the middle. Stay in your lane. That's what I always say.
Favorite player is who? Player, not to announce, but player to watch. Just you're watching the beauty of these guys playing every night too.
Steph. Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, because what he can do, how he can dribble, how he can shoot, and it's one of those sports too, where basketball, you actually get better as you get older. You know, like we used to have Lou Williams as a rookie, and Lou was okay, and then year 13, he became sixth man of the year, like 3 years, and like, it's wild how these guys, if they take care of their bodies and they do the right things, like Steph is playing better than he's ever played. Like, it's unreal. Like, you know, baseball, hockey, those guys, football, forget it. Like, you're not playing after year 14. You know, and I get it, it's a different sport.
Unless you're Tom Brady.
Unless you're Tom Brady, yeah. Yeah. But, yeah, Steph, who else I like? I guess I just hate so many other teams. It's horrible to say because I'm such a Sixers fan. You know, I root for our guys when they, like Kyle Korver, who played for the Sixers, and I was a big fan of Kyle. So even when he went to Utah, and he went to Chicago, went to Atlanta, I would still like root for him to do well, but not beat us.
Yeah.
You know, in fact, there's one time whenever he scored a three, I'd always say double K for a tray. And then once he scored a 3 for, I forget he was playing, maybe he's on Utah, and I said, in a low voice, double K for the tray. And Lou was like, what are you doing? I'm like, I didn't say hi. It's like, don't give him a nickname. He's not on our team anymore.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. All right, Keegan?
I've met quite a few PA announcers and play-by-play commentators for specific teams who have a lot more responsibility than just game day stuff. Is there anything like that you have?
No, I'm just a game day. You know, I'll help out with like summer camps here and there, and you know, we're in the playoffs. We'll do promotions. We'll like do the bus tour and stuff like that. But yeah, I just come in and do the games. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Very good. Right here.
If everyone's healthy, do you think we could actually make it out the first round of playoffs?
Yes. First round, yes. Second round's our big Achilles heel. Yeah.
We're
That's the thing with the NBA. You got to be healthy. You know, you don't know. You don't know what's going to happen during the season. It's such a long season too.
So you're a basketball expert. Anyone who's sat 50-yard line midcourt for that many games, you're a basketball expert.
And I'm a national anthem expert.
Yes,
too.
you are. Yes,
I can tell you like who are good, who are bad.
There you go.
I think I've announced over like 2,000 national anthems. They got to be under 2 minutes, or you screw with my time. Because everything's down to the last second. So if someone's singing the national anthem, they go like 2:30. I get told right away, your intro's got to be really fast. She took too long. So when someone sings the national anthem at like 1:45, I'm like, oh, get them again. They're good. And I don't know if you guys know this. When she was 12 years old, Taylor Swift sang the national anthem at a Sixer game, and I announced her. And I remember because she's a little kid, and her dad was there, and I said, I'm going over the line, her intros, and I'm like, where is this Wyomissing, Pennsylvania? And he goes, we're near Reading. I'm like, why? He goes, you can just say Reading if you're uncomfortable saying it. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I'll say Reading. And then it's on, you can find it on YouTube. And she actually cracked, her voice cracked like 3 or 4 times. And I remember hearing in the headsets, because I have other voices like, yeah, no more kids.
Oh my.
Yeah. And that was her first time she said that she's ever sung in front of a large crowd, like 18,000 people.
And she was 12 at the time?
12 years old. Give it up for 12-year-old from Taylor Swift.
Wow.
Yeah.
How about that? All right, this year's Sixers team. What do you think?
Health. We were just talking about that. I love VJ Edgecombe. I love Tyrese. I love Quentin Grimes. Like, and he's, you know, you think of him and you're like, wait a minute, Quentin Grimes, he's their age. He's a 25-year-old too. And once we get Jarrett back, I think Jarrett could be a total wild card. I think he could be just as good as any of those guys, maybe even better. I like Adembona. He's making strides if he gets a shot. And who's up? Paul George. Paul George is back to the whole like NBA players get better with age. You gotta realize he didn't play last year, so there's no wear and tear from last year. He's a great shot. He's a great defender. There's so much that he can bring if we get the right Paul George. Paul George and Jared McCain added to this lineup. I think it's a really good team. I think Joel's still going to give you like 20, 25 minutes and do what he does. But yeah, I like our team a lot.
It's a fun team to watch. It
and
really is.
And the young guys are so nice. Like VJ Edgecombe's a super nice kid. Jared calls me sir every time he sees me. Like, stop. Like, I'm not a sir. You're making me feel. And Tyrese is the nicest guy. I don't know if you ever dealt with him. his mom and dad sit courtside every game, Denise and Tyrone and grandmom. And I'm like, what do you call grandma? Just call her grandmom. You know, like they're there. They're a super nice family. It's a good team. I love our coaches. Our coaching staff is great. You know, it's just stay healthy, get the right draws in the playoff. You know, go up against a team that someone got hurt. You know, and it can happen.
Right here.
I haven't.
Do you call BJ Edgecombe the generator or no?
I never knew that one.
No, he said that like after he got drafted that he lived off like a generator.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So that's
that's his nickname now, the generator.
the generator.
That's a good one.
All right. I do this when he scores a 3. I go 3J Edgecombe.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, and then when Jared McCain hits a 3, and it hasn't hit one last year, I would always say a JMac 3. But I didn't know the. I'll ask him that one.
Generator. There you
The
go.
generator.
Generator.
Because everyone's talking about this VJ Max thing now, like
Oh
TJ
my
Maxx.
God.
Yeah.
Right over here.
So you said you're obviously a very big basketball fan, just in general. How great or like advantage was that going into the job of PA? Like just knowing the game.
It helped tremendous. Yeah. The more you know what your craft, the better. And anything in life, you know, even in radio, like just to know everything about radio, everything about music, everything about you know the workings of equipment and stuff like that. Yeah, knowledge is the best.
Okay. We'll do you two and then we'll wrap it up. Go ahead, Ben.
Alright, so you mentioned earlier you also announced for lacrosse. Have you done any other sports, and what is it like to just call different sports?
Yeah, I haven't. I mean, I've done lacrosse, and Sixers kind of won't let me do a lot of stuff, which is fine. I've done a few college games. I did the Big 5 tournament 2 years ago with all 6 city teams playing. That was one of the hardest days of my life.
You don't know the players.
Well, and it's 3 games in a row. It's like, and there's like a half hour between games, and you don't know the players. And you know, I like to know the players. So I've done a few college basketball, but outside of that, no, nothing.
All right, Keaton, let's wrap it up.
The hardest question you heard today.
Oh no.
All these people, all these, sports camera stuff in this room. What's your biggest piece of advice to all of them?
What first?
Biggest advice to sports communication media students.
Work for free in the beginning. Let your ego go. Do volunteer. Do everything you can. Just show your eagerness, and don't even think about, you know, I'm entitled for this or that. Just be quiet. Work for free. Volunteer constantly, and you know, just be that person. And that, you know, I mean, anybody has a major job today. Howie Roseman was an intern for the Eagles. Like, everyone starts as it, and internships are really hard to get. I get it, but if you got the drive and you really want to do it, you'll get it. Yeah, absolutely.
Any regrets in your career path?
No. I mean, not that I can think of.
Kid that went off to Plattsburgh and
right. No, I've been blessed. I don't know if you know this, but the greatest, people ask me, what's the greatest sporting thing you've ever been involved with or that you've witnessed? So I was in 1980, I was at Lake Placid for the USA Russia game. I think you were there too.
I was next to Al Michaels.
Yeah. So I was a driver for ABC Sports. I didn't know Neil Adar, and he was working for ABC too. And that to me was the greatest sporting event ever. And the fact that I was there with 2 college buddies, we had the ABC jackets on. We did. It got us in the room.
Yeah.
And we weren't working. You were working.
I was working.
And just to hear those USA chants for the first time leaving that arena. I remember watching the movie with my nephew, he's in his 30s, with all his friends. The movie with, who plays Herb Brooks? Goldie Hawn's husband.
Russell.
Yeah, Kurt Russell. We're watching the movie, and they're like, oh, this is great. I'm like, I was there. And they're like, at the filming of the movie? I'm like, no, at the actual game.
I still have my Lake Placid blue jacket.
So do
ABC, and I have my credentials. And I have a picture with Ken Dryden, who unfortunately recently passed,
Yeah.
who was the color analyst for ABC at the Winter Olympics.
So it was Al Michaels and Ken Dryden, right?
Yeah. And I was right in between them.
And probably the greatest line ever in the history of sports. Do you believe in miracles?
I gave him the line.
Yeah. Did you really?
Do you believe in miracles? I told him in a different way. Let's thank Matt Corey.
Yeah.